It's Gnome of the Month, Gnome of the Month, Gnome of the Month. Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations and I'm Nova and I am so happy to see you today. I hope you are doing well and I hope you and your loved ones are taking care of the best that you can. Hopefully you guys have had a good September. It is the end of the month and you guys know if you've been around for a while that on the last Saturday of the month here on my channel we do something called Gnome of the Month. And Gnome of the Month is a segment that I do every month. Literally since the creation of my channel, except for a few months, we have been doing Gnome of the Month. And basically what that is every month I make a gnome. Sometimes I make a couple of gnomes. It just depends on what I'm getting up to. But I always make at least one gnome and then I come on the last Saturday of the month and I show you guys what gnomey goodness I got up to. But it is not just me. This is also open to my gnomies. I have this hanging here and I keep looking at it because it's Gnome of the Month today. And I just had stuff in that yesterday. I just emptied it out. But anyways, it's not just limited to me. So Gnome of the Month is open to you guys. If you are hanging out here and watching this video, that means you're a gnomie, which is what I call my little community here on YouTube. If you hang out on my cozy little corner of YouTube, you are a gnomie. And you are welcome to send in any gnomes you make. So you can send those in at any point in time during the month. You just send me an email. It is novagnomecreations@gmail.com. No fancy stuff, just all those words smushed together. And that is always in the description box of my videos if you are looking for that email. But send me an email and in the subject line put Gnome of the Month. And then in your email, make sure you let me know what name to credit you as. That can be your first name, first and last initial. It can be a nickname or an alias that you like to go by on YouTube. And you are also welcome to include like your YouTube handle, like your YouTube channel name, or like if you are big on Instagram, you can send that. I'm happy to shout you out and kind of include that info in case anybody like really likes what you send in and they want to go track you down. But oh yeah, and make sure you attach pictures of your gnome. And you're not limited to one gnome, by the way. So if you make 3 gnomes this month, you can send 3 gnomes in. More than happy. We love to see those. Okay, so we are a very gnome loving community and we love to see whatever gnomes you end up making. And speaking of making, Gnome of the Month is also not just stuck into the realm of crochet. It's also not even limited to the realm of fiber arts. Gnome of the Month is actually a video that is just all about gnomes and crafting gnomes. So you can craft a gnome in any medium you want to. That could be drawing, that could be coloring, that could be sculpting, that could be crochet or knit. It could be digital art. It could be literally anything. Wood burning. We've had like a mix of everything in our Gnome of the Month submissions. And honestly, I get a little like excited when people send in things that aren't just crochet too. It's really fun to see like what creative ways people are gnoming around. So you are welcome to send in your gnomes even if you are not a crocheter. Mine are typically crochet, but actually even mine are not always crochet. I have, last month, I believe it was it last month? Might have been the month before. No, it was last month. I don't know. Recently. Either last month or the month before. I actually included a polymer clay gnome mug that I made, as one of my gnomes that month. But like I said, we've had, a mixed bag of different types of crafts, and it is so cool to see what you guys all come up with. There's no requirements on themes or anything like that. Sometimes I will do like a crochet along. So especially like the holiday season, I will do like, I will frequently kind of do a crochet along, where I'll do like, okay, I'm going to make a witch gnome. I'm going to say witch gnome because next month is Halloween, and I do have a witch gnome crochet along, by the way, as well as a written tutorial or a written pattern. And then what I do is I drop that crochet along during that month. And then at the end of the month, I show my gnome and I show any of the gnomes you guys made. But you don't have to make my gnome even when I do a crochet along. You can make any gnome. But I do try to include like crochet alongs or patterns here and there, just kind of sprinkled in. I like to try to make a gnome of the month like pattern or tutorial. So that playlist, if you are interested in seeing my gnome crochet alongs or tutorials, that will be linked in the description box below, and I will also pop it up at the end of the video in case you want to go look and see what kind of gnome you want to make for next month. And like I said, I do have Halloween gnomes, I do have Christmas gnomes, definitely have like some different themed gnomes. I also have a super beginner friendly gnome tutorial, which is a very slowed down, broken down tutorial to make a basic gnome. And it is done with the idea that like you have never really crocheted before. It's done with the idea like this is your maiden voyage into crocheting. This is like your absolute first amigurumi. Like you don't have to know really anything. I consider it to actually be beginner friendly, because a lot of times beginner friendly things aren't really beginner friendly. Like they might be like, you know, relatively beginner friendly, but like this is beginner. And I broke it down over the course of several videos. That's going to be in there. I also have a pocket gnome if you're wanting to make like a smaller gnome. And yeah, I've got like springy looking gnomes, like a flower pot gnome, stuff like that. Anyway, about it. That is kind of what I've got going on for Gnome of the Month and like what we've got going on Gnome wise here. But without further ado, would you guys like to see what I made for Gnome of the Month? Okay, so this one isn't an amigurumi, believe it or not. I know I almost always do amigurumis for my Gnome of the Month, but especially, you know, for crochet ones. This is actually a new pattern that Repeat Crafter Me put out, and it is for a gnome pocket, and it is an ornament. It's got like a little ornament hanging spot here. It's for an ornament or like a gift tag. You could use it as a gift tag. You could put this on like a bottle of wine or on a gift bag. You know, it can be an ornament to hang on your tree. But what it is it is a pocket so that you can put little things in it. I don't really have anything super great to display this with. But like you could put like, my idea that I'm thinking is like little candy canes. You could put like little stickers in here and stuff. And it's actually a pretty good sized pouch. Like, let's see, here's a crochet hook. What size crochet hook is this to give you guys like an idea? A 5.5. Let's see. This is it with a 5.5 crochet hook inside. So to give you a little idea. So it's cute and Gnome themed, which I absolutely love. It's super easy, works up quick. But what I'm thinking is these would be really good for office gifts for coworkers. So as you guys know, I'm in the process of getting a job and I'm going to be working in an office for the first time, which I'm super excited about. And I'll be on like a team and there'll be a lot of coworkers. And I thought it would be cute to make something for like each of the team members, something that's like the same, but you know, a little different. I can do like different colors. And you know, put like a little something in here and then I could put it on each of their desks. What I was also thinking is cute is you could put a gift tag on here. Like I could put like a little note saying like, oh, you know, thanks for being like a great coworker, whatever, you know, I want to say who it's from, put that on here. And then it kind of doubles as a spot to put your own gift tag if you are just leaving these like as little gifts for your coworkers. But like they can also hang these up at their cubicles. They could hang this off of a push pin if they wanted to hang it there. But it could also be hung on a tree, be like a little ornament. I think they're very multifunctional, but they're really, really cute. They work up really quickly. And also kind of good for scrap yarn because you really don't need a whole lot of yarn for these. I used some white. I love this yarn. Some gray. I love this yarn that's got like these little tweed pastel colors in it because I thought it would be like a cute beard color like gray, but a little bit like more fun and like a little pop of something interesting. And then this is just some Hirschner's Halloween yarn actually that it changes colors, and it happened to change colors like halfway through. So it's purples, but honestly, like you can do the hat any color you want and it's still going to be super cute for Christmas. I will probably do like some also more Christmassy ones, but like my sister was saying, the sparkle even just kind of lends itself to Christmas without even it being in Christmas colors. But this was my first one that I made, and I have another one that I've got like the beard and the nose and this part done. I just need to make a back and then attach it all together. But this is relatively no sew also. So you have to sew the nose on, but the rest of it is all crocheted together. So you don't have to sew it together, which is super nice. And like I said, it works up quick too. So like if you're wanting to make like 20 of them or something, or 10 or however many, it's a project that you can make without like really sinking a whole ton of time into it and like kind of overwhelming yourself or being unrealistic with the amount of time that you are going to be putting into them. I think we're all guilty of being like having these grand undertakings and then totally being like too much to try to get done. But that is my gnome of the month. Kept it very simple. And next month's gnome I also have already got going, and I'm really excited about it. Just a reminder that next month's gnome of the month is going to fall during the 13 days of Yarnoween that I'm hosting, and that is going to be 13 days leading up to and including Halloween. Going to be all Halloweeny content, lots of themes, and doing a huge backdrop decorations, doing makeup looks, all this stuff. And one of those days is actually gnome of the month. So if that kind of inspires your gnome for next month, if you want to try to make a gnome that kind of falls into the Halloween themes, that would be so cool. Imagine like a Halloween themed gnome of the month video where not just my gnome is like kind of Halloween themed, but your gnomes are kind of Halloween themed. I think that would be really fun. If you make a gnome, make sure you send it in. You can send it in at any time. I don't have a requirement of like you can only send them in the week of gnome of the month or something. I know a lot of times people are like, oh, I don't want you to send this thing in too early because it gets overwhelming. I don't mind at all when you send them in, because what I do is I don't open those emails until I go to put together my video. I just search my inbox for gnome of the month if I'm making a gnome of the month video, and then I see which ones aren't opened. They'll be nice and bold-faced, unopened, and I'll know that I haven't included them yet. Once in a while, I will open an email before then, and I might even reply if I have the time to, but I don't really, I don't get in the habit of replying to those types of emails, because I do get like Freeform Friday emails. I do get gnome of the month emails. I also just get a lot of other emails, and I can't keep up with doing like a million things with them. And it just would get overwhelming, and then I wouldn't want to do it. So that is why you can send them in at any time. So if you make a Halloween gnome or something and you're all excited and you get it whipped out and you're like, I can't send it in, it's too early, and then you sit on it and you forget about sending it in, which is extremely likely to happen in that scenario, don't do that. If you make it, just send it in immediately. So take some pictures and pop it over to me. And without further ado, would you guys like to see the submissions that have been sent in for Gnome of the Month this month? I am going to pop over into the montage of any gnomes I got this month. If you have a moment, I would appreciate it so much if you left a kind comment about a gnome that you saw during our little montage. If something pops into your mind, something positive, something fun about one of the gnomes that someone sent in, that would be super cool. You never know what people are going through, and this might have been their first gnome. This might have been something that they were really excited about, and then nobody else in their life is excited about it, or they don't really get the whole crafting thing or the whole crocheting thing or whatever, and they are looking for that encouragement and that kind of camaraderie that the friendship, that the yarny friendship and that the crafty friendship provides, other people that are excited about things that they like. So I really like to kind of encourage everybody to, foster that sort of environment, that positive environment, that excited environment, like let's have infectious positivity and joy and just enjoy what we like, Anyways, let's hop over to that, and I will see you guys on the next video. I'm excited for next month's Gnome of the Month, so I highly encourage anybody who has been thinking about participating to participate. Yes, to participate next month. That would be super fun. All right, guys, I will see you on the next one. Bye.